Hello, it's Yubagoon. I'm back with another worked example in my Age of Mythology Trigger Basics series. The last video we learned the basics about quest vars. We're now going to use that in an example to create a very thoroughly and often requested feature, a leveling system. So the idea behind this is our player is going to get kills. It's going to require a certain number of kills per level, and then the character levels up. With the power of quest vars, we can do this in one single trigger, and we can loop it so it runs for infinite levels. Yes, quest vars are really that awesome. If you haven't seen the last video, I'd strongly recommend it, otherwise you're probably going to get lost here. For everyone else, as always, this scenario is available to download in both the blank and completed forms. So, what we've got is an admin group, level system group, spawn enemy group, and counters group. So we start off with the start trigger. As always, we're going to set the camera cut to where the player should see, and we're going to reveal the map as well. I'm also going to set some of my quest vars. So I'm going to set level to 1 because we start at level 1 rather than level 0, and I'm going to set next to 2. So I want to kill 2 units in order to level up. Next, we're going to spawn some enemies so that I can actually get some kills going. It's going to be quite a fast spawn rate, every 2 seconds, looped. I'm going to use the army deploy triggers for this, which we've used before. So, army deploy, army 0 of player 2, going to create 1 militia. I'm going to leave this as it is because I'm going to immediately follow this with a move command. So that army is going to be running in towards the circle to attack. I'm going to do the same again, but with army 1 on this side, and again that's going to be moving into attack. I want to set the stats of the enemies, and this is going to be done by the modify proto unit trigger. I'm going to modify their hit points absolutely. You'll find this is so I can kill them in one shot. You can't actually modify the attack of the Son of Osiris because the game classes it as a special attack. So if you've tried that already, it won't work with this method. Next, the fun bit, our level system. I'm going to have this as inactive, and I'm going to fire it after we've defined our quest vars. That way we start on level 1 rather than level 0. Condition I'm going to use for this time, it's a new condition, it's quest var stat value, this one here. This allows us to compare a quest var with quite a lot of Age of Mythology statistics that the game stores. There's quite a lot of useful stuff in here. The one we're interested in for today is enemy units killed. So if we have equal to or more than the required number, we level up. What happens now? We level up, so quest var level is modified by 1. Our next quest var gets modified by 2 again, because we're going to kill another 2 units to get another level. Then we want our level up effects. So I'm going to have a sound playing, and I'm going to heal myself with the damage unit trigger and a minus number there. I'm also going to give myself some more hit points as well. That's it. That's all we need to do for a level up trigger that will loop continuously for infinite levels in that one trigger there. Counters. I want to be able to display what level I am. You could put this one in the level trigger, but I'm going to expand on this slightly later. We're using the fake counter set text level, and then we're going to use our quest var code. This was in my last video. You can copy paste this. You'll find that if you're typing it manually, capitals and case sensitivity is really important here. That's literally it. That's all we need to do. We should now have a working scenario where every 2 kills we level up. Let's see what happens. We start on level 1. The victims have spawned. We kill 2 of them. We go up to level 2. Killing again. We've jumped up 2 levels there. That was just 1. We didn't level. +3 leveling. +4 leveling. So you see it's working quite nicely, and we have the intended effects there. It really is that simple. You only need one trigger to do a level up command. I'm going to save this one for you so you can see this. And what I'm going to do now is expand on this slightly. What if you want another counter to display how many kills are required to the next level? And what if you want to change how many kills are required with each level so it gets harder and harder to level up? We're going to need to use some more quest vars for this. So looking at our quest vars, we're going to keep level as 1. We're going to keep next as 2 for the time being. And we'll leave that one as it is for the time being. What I'm going to do in my level trigger now is look at this value here. We're using a quest var of next to add in here. So if I were to add further numbers into next, it would increase. So if I just did next +1, this means that it's going to be 3 kills. That's going to continue continuously throughout the scenario. So it will be 2 for level 2 and then 3 kills for every level. We're going to need another quest var here. So I'm going to put add 1. We've got our next +2. But what I'm also going to use is the quest var modify 2 effect. This allows us to add quest vars together. So I'm going to have next plus add. What this is going to do is we're going to get our 2, but the add quest var is going to go up by 1 as well. So it's going to be 2 kills for the next level, then 3, then 4, then 5. If I show you this now for what I've done, we can just prove the concept. 2 kills, we've leveled up. 3 kills, 4 kills in fact. We've only leveled up once. It's going to be 4 kills now, so we killed 4. We haven't leveled up. 1 more kill, still haven't leveled up. Then we level up. Again, this is why players sometimes want another counter to display how many kills are actually required. So we're going into our counters. You'll remember we can only use one fake counter set text. So we're going to use a normal counter. Going to stop it first of all, and then we're going to define it here. We're going to start at a low number, stop at an even lower number, and then have kills required. Now, what do I want to put here? Very good question. I can't use next because that's going to be 2, then 2 plus 3 for 5. Then 2 plus 3 plus 4 for 9. I also can't use add because that's going to be just 1, then 2, then 3 is what we're essentially adding on here. So when this trigger works, it only works when we're leveling up. I want to calculate how many kills we need all the time and display it accurately. So we're going to need to add a few more quest vars in here before this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a quest var, add a stat value with the QV set stat value. This is where it gets a bit complicated. So this is going to be calc1, the enemy units killed. I'm going to set another quest var to 0. This is going to be calc2. I'm then going to add using the quest var modify 2 trigger. I want calc2 to show me how many kills are required. So this is going to be next. What this is going to do is it's going to set it to 0, and then it's essentially going to duplicate the next one. Now, I'm not done yet because I can't just use next. This tells me how many kills to the next level. this tell me how many kills I've got at the moment. So again, I'm going to use a quest var modify 2, and it's going to be calc2, the bigger number, minus calc1. What this is going to do is essentially the kills required to the next level minus the kills I've already got, so I can use the quest var calc2 in my counter. I'm going to copy those down so they're in the correct order, and I'm going to use calc2 in my quest var code. This one here, calc2. So if we test the scenario now,
until you were here.
I've got some trailing decimals there. I must have done the quest var wrong. Even I make mistakes. That's why it's just helpful to sometimes copy this code rather than type it manually. So you can see level 1, 2 kills required. I make 1 kill. It's updated, 1 kill required. I've killed a lot there, so it's all gone up. There we go. 3 kills required. 5 kills required. 2 kills required. There we go. So every level, we now need more kills. It's quite helpful that the Eve can kill 4 units at once. That's why it stayed on 1 there, because it's continually killing enough to make that number equal to 1. It's now getting to quite big numbers when we get to these high levels, so it's not possible to level up as quickly. There we go. Sometimes what players also like to do is, instead of using a kill count, use an experience counter and have different units grant different amounts of experience. It makes sense. If you're getting 1 experience from killing a militia and 1 from killing a boss unit, it's not exactly fair. We can do this, and I'm just going to change my counters, so it's going to say experience required instead of kills. The only thing we have to do is change the stat that we're looking at in our levelling system. We're using enemy units killed at the moment. If we use units killed cost, it means we can assign a different value to each different unit. I'm going to put costs in here. Now, militia, they don't cost any resources to build because you can't normally build them, so we need to modify them in order to create an experience factor for them. We're going to do this by making them cost gold. So each militia will now give me 1 experience. If I were to create an Arcus over here, we'll find that by going to detailed help, this unit costs a total of 95 resources to build. So if we kill that guy, we're going to get 95 experience, which is quite a lot. So, back in the map, back to killing. You can see this is behaving as normal, with the XP for each level increasing with every level. Now if I kill this guy, we get a lot at once, and we jump up 14 levels at once. That's just because he gave so much experience. That shows you how we can use the power of quest vars to have an infinite levelling system in just 1 trigger. We can also have the counters to do it in 1 trigger as well. We've had to do some quest vars in here as well because the levels only works and updates when we level up. This one is constantly going, so this is why these values are constantly being calculated. Just to go over this again, as if we're running a loop, we've got a level. We see how many enemies we've got killed at the moment. We set a quest var to 0, again because it's already had a value as we've used it before. Then we make it equal to the requirement, and then we take off how many kills we've got in order to get how many kills are required. Both of these scenarios are available for you to download. I hope this gives you some further insight into quest vars, and we've actually come quite a long way, so well done if you've managed to replicate me here. we're starting to gain some traction and use advanced triggers to create some quite cool stuff. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.